What is going on, guys? Danny Gets Fit here, and welcome to the video. So today's video is about clean eating and IIFYM, also known as flexible dieting. So lately, this has been a kind of subject that's been going around. I recently posted this photo and it got a lot of traction after I had posted a photo of a burger with a side of Brussels sprouts and bacon, and I essentially just posted it as like a photo to show a good plate of food from when I went to LA. The picture just looked good to me, and food just like looks good in photos, so sometimes I post it. There was no like nutritional value or like there was no informity to it. It was just simply a good looking food photo. So I posted that photo, and then someone took it and made this photo. So this photo essentially was to say what I had eaten was a poor diet, and then he posted an example of a proper diet, which to me is all good. Like, he wanted to show people that like you shouldn't eat this and you should eat this, but the thing that creates is an unhealthy view of food. So that is what I feel is the main point between the main difference between clean eating and IIFYM. If you follow It Fits Your Macros, a lot of people just see Pop-Tarts and chips and foods that are not necessarily healthy, but you can eat and fit in your macros. And while that is a part of it, that isn't the main focus. And I think that's just the focus that social media brings, because people like to take pictures of good food, and good food usually is colorful and processed. So that's what usually gets posted to pages who focus on flexible dieting and if it fits your macros, is these kind of like food porny photos, not necessarily to show you the nutritional value or anything, but just kind of to get your attention. If you look at like clean eating photos, you can't really take, you know, a bunch of photos of chicken, rice, and broccoli, or chicken, rice, and asparagus, or steak and potatoes, and you know, it's not very like attractive to look at. So people post photos to show you what flexible dieting is, and they post the ones that are attractive to you, and that's what people kind of base their judgment on flexible dieting. For one, I want to get this out of the way right away, and is that no matter what diet you go with, the proper diet for you is going to be the one that you can do for a long period of time. So what that means is, you know, people ask me all the time, you know, what diet should I do? Should I do this diet, this diet? I've been doing this diet for a while and it's been working really well. Should I keep doing it? Yes, if something is working for you, do not change it. But if you're kind of struggling, or you feel like the inability to eat certain foods is keeping you back and making you crave more things, then I definitely would advise maybe changing it up a bit. So the type of flexible dieting I follow on a day-to-day basis is a flexible diet of like on the go, as well as when I have time to prep food, I will. So what that means is when I'm at home, I'm gonna try to make the healthiest, most whole foods possible. That's what I base 80% of my diet around, is eating whole foods, chicken, rice, veggies, micronutrients, because the more dense in micronutrients and the more whole foods you're eating, the more fiber usually is in them, and the more benefits you're getting out of those foods, as well as you feel more full. So that is the benefits of those foods. But there are times when you're on the go, or you're in a pinch and you don't have time to make your own meal. And that's where flexible dieting comes in, and it allows you to go to a fast food place or go to a grocery store and pick up something quick that you can track, that fits your macros, that won't obstruct your diet. That, I feel, is the best thing about flexible dieting, is like it teaches you that even though you're in a pinch and you have to grab something, or maybe you gave into a temptation of having a chocolate bar, all you have to do is work that, you know, slip into your diet, or work that, you know, on the go food into your diet, the macronutrient and calorie intake that you've already like set yourself up for the day. And once you include that food in that, then you can kind of go on your day like there's no problem. Whereas with clean eating, I find that people, they're on point with their diet and they're doing well, but then all of a sudden a slip up happens where they cave into a burger or a chocolate bar or chips or whatever it may be, and all of a sudden they think that, oh no, my diet's ruined. What do I do now? And then some of them either go, well, diet's already ruined, I might as well just eat a bunch of more food. Or they go, oh, well, I overate that, so I should not eat anymore for the day. And those two things are very unhealthy. That's restricting your caloric intake, which is a bad way to get yourself involved with food, and as well as binging out on a lot of food, which is also unhealthy area to go. The one that I have gone to is the binge one, because for about 2 years, I didn't really know what proper dieting was. The first year, I just did like caloric intake. That's all I tracked. I did 1,800 calories for an entire year when I was like 300 pounds plus. I could have been eating way more food and you know, not doing as much harm to my metabolism, but I didn't know what I was doing. So then is when I started kind of having days where I would just eat a bunch of crappy food. Then once I found flexible dieting, it helped a bit. I still have struggles with, once it goes from a cut to a bulk, I still struggle with not, allowing myself to eat everything. But that's something that I feel like a lot of formerly obese or overweight people are going to continue to deal with. But I find flexible dieting to be the most help with that, because if I stick to a very clean, restrictive diet, it creates more thoughts around food and potential areas of me to binge or like go and try to like get this food I'm craving. As well as flexible dieting is something you can do long term. You can do it for the rest of your life, because it's simply setting up your caloric and macro intake that literally takes a couple minutes out of your day to track, and then you're able to do that when you need it. So, when I do let myself go a bit and eat whatever because I'm on a holiday or whatever, I know that I can get home, I can get back to tracking properly and eat what I want, because we're not all perfect, and a lot of people have to understand that, especially in the industry. Like, you guys look up to me as a source of inspiration and informative content, but I'm not going to be perfect all the time. And so that's something that I feel flexible dieting allows you to do, is when you get when you get off track or get astray, it's easy to come back and refocus and get what you need to get done, which is what I've done in the past 3 weeks, where I've lost almost 12 pounds. So that's essentially it. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying that one is more long-term and is more applicable to life. Just because no one's going to eat rice, broccoli, and chicken for the rest of their lives. And if you only know, okay, well, I have to eat, this amount per day of chicken, broccoli, rice, 6 meals, whatever, how many meals you do, what does that teach you about like nutrition or what you're eating or what the food you're eating is doing to your body? I feel like through flexible dieting, I've learned I've learned more about nutrition and what the food I'm eating does to my body than with anything else. That's just been my experience with it. So this is just coming from my experience, guys. If you are a clean eater, then keep it up if it's working for you. The only thing I would suggest is to look more into the nutrition side of things. How is this food affecting you? What is it doing to your body? All that kind of stuff. And then also realizing that even though you're clean eating, doesn't mean that when you do slip up or you have something that's not necessarily a clean food, that it isn't the end of the world. It's something you can just kind of, it happened, and then you can move on and continue back with your diet. That's something that is super important. But if you are a flexible dieter, that's awesome. That's what I do. That's what I usually do with clients. And I don't promote eating fast food or stuff like that all the time. I know you see it a lot in my videos, but it's simply because the last month or so I've been traveling, I've been coming back home, I've been then going traveling again. I'm now moving to a new place. So I don't want to buy a bunch of groceries that are going to go to waste, as well as I have a ton of work upcoming to that move. So I just haven't had the time to meal prep or buy a lot of groceries or cook. So I'm making the best choices I can with what I have, which to me is also very important. It's to learn that when you don't have that meal prepped or you don't have that go-to groceries, what's some restaurants around that is considered more of a cleaner food that you can go to in a pinch and still hit your goals. So that's the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got some information from this video that's going to help you. If you follow a keto diet, paleo diet, whatever diet you follow, if it's working for you, like I said, do not quit it. The one thing I would recommend to all diets is just informing yourself about nutrition. What do proteins do in your body? What do carbs do in your body? What does fat do when it's in the body? What are micronutrients for? What is fiber for? Look up those things, guys, because they're really important information that you can take with you for the rest of life that'll help you with your nutritional goals each and every day. That, as well as remember, when it comes to dieting, they all achieve the same thing, and that is achieving a caloric deficit. The only proper way to lose weight is being a caloric deficit, and that's what most diets promote. Whether or not you're tracking calories or not, when you're restricting yourself from carbs, fats, or certain types of food, you're usually restricting your intake for the most part. Sometimes when people switch diets, they're not seeing any changes. It's because they're not eating, they're eating too much. They still aren't putting themselves in a caloric deficit. That is needed for fat loss. That is just science. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Comment down below, because I always love hearing from you guys, and I kind of want to know your guys' thoughts on these two topics. Let me know down below, and then subscribe if you're new to the channel. One thing I will also add in here is Layne Norton just recently put out a video where he looks into more of the sciencey stuff about flexible dieting versus clean eating. So I'll put that in the link below. Be sure to check that out. Layne Norton's a PhD in all of this stuff. He's one of the smartest guys out there, and he also supports flexible dieting. So that's awesome. Check that out, guys. And until next time, stay swole, my friends. Stay swole. Woo!